We have some important news that has to do with the upcoming 2025 GM, Chevrolet, and GMC pickup trucks.
That's right. This is all information that is confirmed through an order guide that you can pull up on a public website. And we now know some things about the next year of trucks.
Yeah, and you guys have been sending us some questions about, because there have been a lot of information floating around about GM, right? They're working on a new V8 engine, right? They've invested into that technology. When are we going to see it? Are we going to have a new Duramax out, right? What's happening? Well, there's a site called gmfleetorderguide.com. This is a publicly accessible site, like you said, and we have some information. For example, we can click like new for 2025. And let's start with 1500s. That's the most popular.
500 right there.
Sorry, let me close this. Let's start with 1500.
Yeah,
how about
there
that?
we
How
go.
about that, dude?
I like
so, So a lot of the changes that manufacturers often make are color choices, right?
Yeah, which is nothing too crazy.
Yeah, and we've seen this before. They're removing some colors. You can see the top section is deletions, and some new features and some changes. Some new colors are coming in. For example, cypress gray, riptide blue. And I tried to look this up. A lot of their trucks now have this universal vehicle module, and I haven't been able to actually learn a lot about what that actually does. But it could be something like, some additional features on the screen,
Right.
maybe connectivity as well, right?
Sure. But there's something in here that's pretty exciting, especially for you.
Look at this. The first change on the work truck Silverado for 2025. Cruise control is now standard.
Yeah, and it's not only standard just on the 1500. They're making this change, across the board?
Yeah, but we don't have the Chevy Colorado information quite yet, or GMC Canyon. But if this is happening here, I'm assuming they could make this change in the midsize truck segment.
This could very well be partly because of you.
Well, I think it needs to be said, right?
Yeah.
I mean, other manufacturers like Toyota, I don't know about Ford, but Toyota, for example, and Tacoma, every Tacoma and Tundra has that adaptive cruise control.
Yeah.
Bam.
As it should. My 1988 Corvette had cruise control, and we've made
Yes.
quite a big deal about your brand new Chevy Colorado that you bought a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
Not coming standard with cruise control, but now they all are.
So GM, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Trailer brake controller is also standard on more trim levels. 1LT, FL, SB, 2LT. So this is some of the more basic trim levels, but it doesn't say WT, which is kind of their work truck. So that's going to be optional probably still on some versions. Spray and bed liner is going to have a Chevy bow tie now for most of them, which is kind of a cosmetic change. But you're probably wondering about engines. So let's take a quick look. So if we go under mechanical, right here, we'll be able, see, this order guide is not for like consumer consumption.
No,
this is
obviously,
pretty crazy. But for example, 5.3 liter V8, right there.
Yeah.
And we have some power numbers that I can show you guys in a second. So 3 liter diesel, 5.3 V8, 2.7 turbo. Actually, there might be a better page. Engines. Yeah, this is kind of a better view, and we have engine codes. So if you were to change an engine, you would see this code change, right?
Yeah, even if they went through some of the internals and didn't necessarily do a full ground up new engine, but just heavily updated an engine, those numbers would change.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing these changed. So LZ0 is their latest Duramax that came out, about a year ago. Very great engine. We've tested it thoroughly. I mean, we've tested all of these engines thoroughly. So the 5.3, we used to have a Trail Boss 2020 model with that engine and the 10-speed. That was probably one of the best combinations.
It was a hard-working truck.
Yeah, and we had the ZR2 with a 6.2. So it seems like for 2025, GM is sticking around with tried and true.
Yeah, at least for next year.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like they're updating power numbers because sometimes they could have a different tune.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that either on these pages, and I'm not going to bore you.
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
For example, here, Turbo Max, which is the 2.7 engine like my Colorado, 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque. It's the same spec, that we've seen
Same
before.
numbers in your truck.
Yeah. So now let's, by the way, they've updated some of their 2024 configurator guide, and I think it looks pretty, I like the way this looks, dude.
Yeah.
Red ZR2, that's
It
pretty
is.
sweet.
It's a really sharp truck.
And the ZR2 remains,
Yeah.
according to that guide. So don't worry about it going away.
And some people were hoping to see a Raptor fighter. Again, I mean, if we were seeing any indication of that, that would have been the headline.
Yeah, and it's not
thing.
the headline.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that there's anything like that in the works.
Yeah, so for heavy duties, similar changes. Powertrains remain the same. This is a big one. Trail Boss trim package for the heavy duties.
Yeah, which we've actually seen one image of, right?
Yeah, so they released actually an official image, which is this. It looks very similar to some of the other heavy duty trucks.
Sure, yeah.
They're using LED lights, so not like, it's a little bit more premium look. Red tow hooks.
Yeah, black painted bumper, kind of like our Trail Boss had back in the day. It's a good looking truck. It's nothing too insane that they're doing with it. A Trail Boss is not a super extreme off-road trim.
And it looks like they put a 20-inch wheel with a KO3 tire, which is a new B of Goodrich design.
Yeah.
But I wish they would have given it more sidewall.
Yeah, to your point, some of these trucks have 18, so it would have been cool to see maybe a little bit more sidewall. But that being said, I don't think most people are buying HD trucks to actually do a lot of off-roading because they're large trucks, they're heavy, they're not the best off-roaders.
Exactly, and you'll have, for the Trail Boss, you'll have a choice of either a gas engine or the L5P Duramax V8, both of them with 10 speeds. So just another trim level, and I kind of welcome that, especially for the tires, right? That's where the rubber really hits the ground.
Yeah, yeah. And the KO3 is an awesome tire.
Yeah, we have it on our different version of it on the Ranger Raptor, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you recently, well, you're going to have a video with that tire
this
coming
weekend.
up soon.
Yeah, we were doing just a little bit of driving with it in the dirt, but every bit of testing that we've done with that Ranger Raptor, those tires haven't let it down one bit.
Yeah, so expect that the trim levels and largely, to remain the same. The look of the truck will remain the same for 2025. The power levels will remain largely the same. Let's take a look at the engines. Once again, gas and V8 combinations, and the codes remain the same.
Yeah.
L8 and L5P. So it seems like a lot of more of the same, but this has been a good setup. So it's not like, I'm kind of bummed.
No, and it's not like any of these vehicles feel dated or desperately need to be changed in any huge way.
We recently did a video on TFL Truck about the new Cummins coming out on the Ram Heavy Duty for 2025. We still don't have official confirmation about that, but that's going to be an exciting comparison, right?
Yeah.
The new Cummins truck versus, for example, the new Trail Boss Heavy Duty.
Well, I'm excited for updates to the Cummins because I drive a Cummins, I love Cummins, but they could use the update.
Yeah, especially transmission updates, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They have a couple of updates on the electric side of things.
Yeah.
So, of course, these trucks, the RST Silverado EVs, have started to arrive at dealerships. In fact, I was just at the local dealership, Johnson Auto Plaza, and they have one of these trucks.
Oh, you actually saw one?
Yeah, on
Nice.
the lot, which is their new premium Silverado EV. By the way, this is kind of weird. They only have it available in two colors, black and Summit White.
Yeah, so not a lot of options.
What about fun colors?
People might start having to wrap them like Cybertruck.
So not a lot of color options yet on these trucks. But if we look at the order guide, I saw something a little peculiar here. They're removing the current trim levels. Remember how we tested the 4WT?
Yeah.
That was the large battery truck with a lot of range, 450 miles of driving range.
Yeah.
Well, they're removing some of the trim levels and adding 3 different trim levels.
Interesting.
And they're naming it different things. And I don't really know what that means.
Well, that's not confusing at all.
But also, LT trim, we haven't seen this one yet. RST trim returns for 2025. So they'll have more options. By the way, there have been spy images, I believe from Michigan, of a electric Trail Boss truck. So something a little bit with a lift, with a bigger off-road tire. And so the Trail Boss is also coming
Yeah.
for the electric truck.
So is Habanero Orange.
Oh, hey, maybe they are going to add some fun colors.
And Zephyr Blue, what is this, a Lincoln? That's spelled differently.
Yes. So maybe some more fun colors are coming. I'm really happy to see this, especially the orange color.
Yeah,
That
that'll
could be
cool.
real.
And then there's actually some pretty big news with the Sierra EV.
Yeah, so Sierra EV configurator is now live. I believe journalists will be and us will be able to drive one next month.
Yeah, so coming up pretty soon.
So that'll be quite exciting. It has quite a unique interior, so it does not look almost anything like a Silverado EV.
Yeah, which you would hope for.
Yeah, Silverado EV has a horizontal screen. This has a vertical screen. But this, I haven't seen this before.
Yeah, that's why you want the interior and the exterior and everything to look different, because it's not a small price tag.
Yeah, $99,495. This is basically all in for
Yeah.
Denali First Edition, or they're calling it Edition 1. That's kind of their language. Dual motor, all-wheel drive, all that stuff. I believe over 740 horsepower.
Yeah.
And the price squeaks right under 100K.
Yeah, just barely. And that price is basically everything, because there's not really any options.
No, we tried.
You can add like a hitch or a roof box or a bike rack or a tent, but there's not really any options to the vehicle itself that you can change. So that price is getting you basically the top dog truck, because
Yeah.
you've got no other option.
And there's also going to be like an AT4 version of it. We've seen some spy shots of that as well.
Yeah.
So there'll be some more differentiation. Notice these trucks don't have tow hooks,
Yep.
but the off-road versions will.
Yeah.
So they're kind of trying to differentiate every trim in a different way, which I like.
Yeah.
I think that should be done.
Oh, and it looks like a sharp interior.
So yeah, so those are the updates. So if you're on the fence, if you're about to order a truck right now and you're like, wait a minute, should I wait to a new engine? Well, you're not going to have any new power plants.
No, unless you're getting a very, very base truck and you're worried about it not coming with cruise control, then maybe you should wait.
Yes.
But other than that, there's some different colors,
Yeah.
but nothing too dramatic.
So minor changes. So hopefully that answers all your questions about the 2025 GM trucks. And of course, we didn't talk about everything GM. You can go to tfltruck.com or alltfl.com. We'll have some links so you can click through it and
Yeah.
learn more about it.
Absolutely. So that's all for this video. Be sure to check out alltfl.com, where you can see all of the articles and videos that we put up, the millions of them every week.
Yes, we do a lot.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thank you.